Excellent, thank you. And I'm happy to be speaking to a mostly European audience where there's a bit better awareness of the palm oil problem than there is here in America. But yes, I'm here today to talk to you about how can we solve this problem. This is a photo of Indonesia in the fall of last year. Each year, it's estimated that 1 to 2 hectares of tropical forest are illegally cleared and converted into industrial agriculture plantations. This deforestation leads to significant carbon dioxide emissions as the tropical rainforest and peatlands that are destroyed are crucial terrestrial carbon sinks. In addition to the greenhouse gas emissions, as was mentioned, we see wide-reaching implications from this deforestation. First is the decimation of wildlife species, most notably orangutans. The orangutan has become the sort of face of palm oil, as nearly 150,000 of them were critically endangered between 2000 and 2015, and all 3 species of orangutan are now critically endangered. Beyond biodiversity, this deforestation also impacts human health and wreaks economic havoc as well. In 2015, deforestation-related fires swept across large areas of Sumatra, Kalimantan, and Papua in Southeast Asia. The World Bank calculated the cost of this disaster at $16 billion, while researchers at Harvard and Columbia universities estimated that 100,000 people died prematurely from respiratory diseases linked to the haze. So these little school children are wearing masks, but it's not because of a virulent pandemic. It's because of man-made fires set to tropical rainforest, burning the air. And what's all of this for? A vegetable oil. Palm oil is one of the main drivers of this deforestation. And palm oil is everywhere. It's the most popular vegetable oil in the world, and it's found in 50% of products on supermarket shelves, making it a $60 billion and fast-growing industry. So, oil. The oil palm plant is a species native to West Africa, and the main tree, Elias guineasus, can only grow in a very narrow strip of land right around the equator, as you see highlighted here in this map. This land around the equator is home to some of the world's most precious land. It's got the highest concentration of tropical rainforest in the world, and it's the most biodiverse land on Earth. As demand for palm oil has exploded over the past few decades, it's really come at the expense of these rainforests. Growers identify this land around the equator, they slash and burn the carbon-rich peatland and trees of the forest, and they turn it into these sort of perfectly planted rows of industrial agriculture plantation. As vegetable oil. And yet palm oil is still everywhere in our daily lives. While you might not be aware that you consume palm oil, almost every one of us, probably every one of us, has already touched it today. It's found in soaps and shampoos and laundry detergents. It's found in makeup, especially color cosmetics, which retain color like lipstick. It's found in packaged food favorites like Nutella, chocolate candies, biscuits, French fries, and it's even found in biofuels. 50% of the EU's imports of palm oil actually have gone to biofuels traditionally, though the European Commission has recently taken action to slow this dramatically. So why is palm oil so hard to replace then? A main reason for palm oil's popularity, and the thing that makes it so hard to get rid of, is its unique profile. We're talking about oils, and so the main component is what's called the fatty acid profile. Essentially, you've got saturated fats, which are solid at room temperature, and you've got unsaturated fats, which are liquid at room temperature. You can sort of think butter is saturated and olive oil is unsaturated. Palm oil is really unique because it's about 50-50 saturated and unsaturated fats. This gives it really amazing performance properties, things like It keeps solid at room temperature, but it melts as soon as it hits your mouth. So it's the thing that makes chocolate melt in your mouth and not in your hands. It's got a great smoke point for cooking, mouth feel, which is a texture that people use to describe certain products when they eat. It blows away the other vegetable oils, which is why agriculture has had a hard time solving this problem alone. But these same qualities, its versatility and productivity that drive palm oil use, have also made it an intractable problem to solve. The impact of this is that although over 250 companies and 9 countries, all European, have made public commitments to stop using conflict palm oil, which relies on deforestation, by 2015, by 2018, by 2020, they've all failed because they've had no viable alternative. I mean, we believe that the only solution to meeting growing demand for palm and other vegetable oils is through biotechnology. Palm oil is a valuable ingredient and it's not going away. As the world population grows to somewhere between 9 and 10 billion people by 2050, demand for palm oil is expected to grow 2 to 3 times. And without any alternatives, the only way that we can meet this demand is through further deforestation. That means that in order to feed the planet without burning the planet by 2050, we have to embrace radical innovation, and we have to find cleaner production methods that don't harm our precious ecosystems. What I'd like to propose today is how we can move away from a relationship with nature, which has traditionally been extractive and sort of one way, to a relationship with nature, which is more symbiotic, resourceful, and can embrace a partnership that does not result in a zero-sum game, but can create some of the upcycling ecosystems and innovation cycles that you've heard about over the last 2 days. Synthetic biology and precision fermentation are one really promising way to do this. And this is what we use at C16. We've created a platform for producing next generation oils, fats, and lipids using this microbiology. So what does this look like? Number one, it starts with identifying promising microorganisms. Microorganisms can span from yeast and algae, fungi, bacteria, which are growing in our understanding. We discover and we sequence the genomes of new microorganisms each month. So the set of potential for promising microorganisms, which can serve as platforms for solving environmental problems specifically, is massive and continues to grow month by month. It's really very exciting. Once you've identified the host organism, you engage in what's called precision fermentation. You may all be familiar with fermentation in more traditional ways, which have been ongoing for centuries for production of beer and wine and cheese and bread. Precision fermentation involves taking these microorganisms and optimizing their growth conditions. They are living beings just like you and me, so they need energy to grow. What temperature, what's the optimal temperature? How long should we grow them for? What are their preferred sugar sources? How much oxygen do they need? Identifying these growth conditions, refining the oils and creating derivative products, and of course, product innovation, which is a crucial component of solving this problem. The science is not enough. It has to perform well in end products, and any company working in this space must be focused on product innovation. What's really exciting is that we're starting to see massive consumer acceptance for these types of innovations. I think many people have been afraid of the word GMO and the damage that was done in prior GMO innovation cycles, but we're starting to see consumers really embrace this idea of moving from the plant kingdom, which has been extractive, to the fungal kingdom, and starting to tap into these better resources to create products which can be good for human health and planetary health. If you saw Fantastic Fungi, it was a very, very popular series here on a documentary here in the US on Netflix. And a lot of people have been embracing the use of fungi. Synthetic biology and precision fermentation can help us solve environmental problems, but it can also help us create better humane jobs for local communities, transitioning away from jobs which are labor intensive, involving debt bondage and slave labor, to high-tech jobs that pay well. They can help transition from massive, opaque, completely unpredictable supply chains to simplified supply chains with integrated up, mid, and downstream production in a single site, decreasing emissions and energy uses to transport, and massively increasing traceability and sustainability. And it can help us build greener processes to feed the world without land use trade-offs. Thank you.
So Shara, how far are we away? And is it incremental palm oil volume you are covering, or is there like some United Nations idea to rewild, as there's an NGO named like that, to rewild some of the previously lost pristine forest areas? Tell me about the rollout plan. I think you're now 3-4 years going. You raised money from the Gates, or from Bill Gates, or from the foundation. You are in the UBS Visionary program. How can we help you? Or tell us what's your plan? Sorry.
Yeah. Palm oil is massive, and I think that that has to just be addressed. It's a $60 billion industry. There's about 60 million metric tons produced today. And as I described, that number is growing 2 to 3x over the next 30 years. So scale is critical. Scale is critical if we want to solve this problem, the palm oil problem. And it's also critical for getting our cost structure down as a technical innovation. We've got to get down the scale curve up the scale curve and down the cost curve as quickly as possible. So our team has been really, really focused on taking our technology from the lab scale to pilot scale and into commercial production scale next year, which is a really, really exciting milestone. It will enable us to start launching products for the first time.
So next year, you will be able to produce. So it's not anymore an R&D. It's like you're going to market next year.
I would say the R&D is always there. We're a scientific organization at heart, and we'll always be working on better solutions. But our first solution will be ready by next year. And I think we'll continue to see continued innovation for the hundreds of different ways in which palm oil is used in consumer products over the next few years as well.
Fascinating. I need to ask, is there any other company in the world doing what you do?
Our biggest competitors today are the big palm plantations.
But nothing lab-based?
There are certainly people starting, but they are at the very early stages of the transition. And I'd like to say, I welcome all of those innovators. This is such a big problem. We've touched on sort of vegetable oils. It of course encompasses animal fats as well. And as demand for plant-based grows, we've really got to solve how do we make solutions for animal fats that don't involve killing the animals? So I welcome anyone with brilliant ideas to solve this problem, because we need to get there as quickly as possible. We don't have the luxury of time. So I think there are a few people that have started on this. They're quite early stage, and I welcome any and all innovation in this space to solve the problem.
Wonderful, Shara. Thank you so much for this great presentation. Finally, I know more about C16. And if there's anything we can do for you, we are doing this conference for the pure reason of stopping the biodiversity loss. So everything around it is kind of orchestrated around exactly that point. And I love C16 because 99.9% complain about the palm oil industry, which is actually a given. And only very, very few people are actually working on solutions, on climate solutions, which are mitigating the problem of palm oil. And you are on a great track. I hope to get you back next year to NOAH. Maybe you come to Zurich even to be here in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.